Hi, Bill Federer here. In this episode of How We Got Here, we're going to look at the position of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. There are three branches of government established by the U.S. Constitution: the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. The legislative branch consists of the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives. The U.S. Senate is presided over by the vice president, or if not present, the president pro tem of the Senate. The U.S. House of Representatives is presided over by the Speaker of the House. The title of Speaker was first used by the British Parliament in the year 1377. This person moderated debates, announced vote results, and ruled on procedures. In the United States, the Speaker is a very powerful position. The 25th Amendment makes the Speaker third in the line of presidential succession, where if the president and vice president were killed or incapacitated or removed, the Speaker is the next in line to fill the presidency. The Speaker is elected by the 435 representatives and not only presides over the House, but is the de facto head of the majority political party. The Speaker sets the agenda for the House. One of the major powers of the Speaker is appointing members and heads of committees, thus increasing the power of individual representatives. The Speaker is also the chair of the important Rules Committee, which is described as the traffic cop of Congress, determining the process of introducing and passing legislation. In other words, the Speaker can fast-track legislation to be passed, or to the contrary, can see to it that the legislation gets tied up in committees and never comes to a vote. The Speaker oversees the House Clerk, the Sergeant at Arms, the Chief Administrative Officer, the House Parliamentarian, the House Historian, the General Counsel, the Inspector General, and the House Chaplain. Many famous individuals served as Speaker. The very first Speaker of the House was Frederick Augustus Muhlenberg, who had previously been a Lutheran pastor. Muhlenberg was instrumental in having the first session of Congress pass what became the first 10 amendments or Bill of Rights. The First Amendment made sure the federal government would not prohibit the free exercise of religion. In 1794, there was a proposal to translate some laws into German due to a large number of immigrants, but it was voted down 42 to 41. Speaker Frederick Muhlenberg, himself German, stated, "The faster Germans become Americans, the better it will be." A congressional legend exists that when there was a proposal to address the President of the United States as His High Mightiness or His Elected Majesty, Speaker Muhlenberg suggested the title Mr. President. In 1824, the Speaker of the House was Henry Clay of Kentucky. Clay expressed outrage at Greeks being killed in their efforts to become independent from the Islamic Ottoman Empire, stating, "Are we so mean, so base, so despicable that we may not attempt to express our horror at the most brutal and atrocious war that ever stained earth or shocked high heaven, the mere details of which the heart sickens and recoils?" Speaker Clay continued, "If the great body of Christendom can look on calmly and coolly while all this is perpetrated on a Christian people in its own immediate vicinity, in its own very presence, let us at least show sympathy for Christian sufferings, that in this remote quarter of the world, there are hearts not yet closed against compassion for human woes, that can pour out their indignant feelings at the oppression of a people endeared to us by every ancient recollection and every modern tie. Some congressmen thought of money. Figs and opium came from the Ottoman Empire. Various congressmen did not want to interrupt trade with the Ottoman Turks by supporting Greeks. Speaker Henry Clay retorted, "Sir, attempts have been made to alarm the committee by the dangers to our commerce in the Mediterranean, and a wretched invoice of figs and opium has been spread before us to repress our sensibilities. Ah, sir, what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall it avail a nation to save the whole of a miserable trade and lose its liberties?" James K. Polk was the Speaker of the House, after which he went on to become the 11th president, where he added Texas and the Oregon Territory to the Union. Polk stated in 1847, "The people are the only sovereigns recognized by our Constitution. The success of our admirable system is a conclusive refutation of the theories of those in other countries who maintain that a favored few are born to rule and that the mass of mankind must be governed by force." In 1849, the Speaker of the House was Robert Charles Winthrop. He stated, "Men, in a word, must be controlled, either by a power within them or a power without them, either by the word of God or the strong arm of man, either by the Bible or the bayonet." Some speakers have used their positions in less flattering ways. In 2006, when Louisiana Congressman William J. Jefferson was caught by the FBI in a bribery sting, seizing thousands of dollars in fraud money stashed in a freezer in his congressional office, Speaker of the House Dennis Hastert defended William J. Jefferson and insisted the FBI return what they had taken. In 2010, Speaker Nancy Pelosi pressured Congress to pass the Obamacare bill, consisting of thousands of pages which most representatives had not read. Her famous remark was, "We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it." Then, in what many considered usurpation, instead of allowing debate and a roll count vote, she simply deemed the bill as passed. On March 3rd, 1865, Congress voted to approve the motto, "In God We Trust," for all U.S. coins. Speaker of the House Schuyler Colfax stated, "The last act of Congress ever signed by President Lincoln was the one requiring that the motto, 'In God We Trust,' should hereafter be inscribed upon all our national coin." The Speaker of the House is a very powerful position, as it is the Speaker who sets the agenda for Congress. It behooves Americans to make their will known to their representatives as to who they would like for that position. I hope you have found this episode of How We Got Here interesting. God bless you.